It's time once again for the Maple Grove City Report. I'm Dave Kaiser from CCX Media. Thanks for joining us alongside Heidi Nelson, Maple Grove City Administrator. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
As you can see, the table is full today, so get ready for a lot of information from the city. We'll cover a work session ahead of the meeting on the 16th. The meeting on the 16th, a little over an hour time frame, a couple longer topics, and then a lot going on in the city as we head sort of an end of summer and end of fall, so we'll tell you about that in a second. First, the work session, and as we've talked about the last couple times, it's budget time.
Yes.
Tell us about this session and looking at the budget and some of the things that came out of it.
Yeah, so this was kind of our second budget discussion, which really kind of got to the point of going through kind of the proposed 2022 budget and levy. We had a work session August 2nd and walked through some of the bigger, more policy items and new position requests, that kind of a thing with the council. So had an opportunity to circle back on a couple of those items, talked again about the issue of city prosecution services,
right.
And general direction was to move forward with an in-house type prosecution services, so that will come back to the council here as we finalize the preliminary budget for 2022. And then we also had an update on the Arp Funds. The city was a recipient of the second round of federal dollars, and we've had some requests from nonprofits, so the council had a chance to talk about that and the potential use of those Arp funds. So that was a good update. With regard to the 2022 budget, we are looking at about a 2.68% increase in the budget and just over 3% increase in the levy. So pretty on trend with past years and in line with current inflation, if you will,
Sure.
and then some cost of living in there as well. So council had a chance to review that in some detail. Net or impact on the average single family home here in Maple Grove, about $13 on the year. So really trying to keep that in line with inflationary increases. So good response to the budget. This budget document will come back to the council at their September 7th meeting to adopt that preliminary levy. As we know, we have to adopt that by the end of September. Levy can't go up from there, but it always can go down. So the council tends to kind of look at that full picture of the budget there in September. If people are interested, those budget documents are located on our website as part of the work session packet, so they can go take a look at that there.
All right, and that website again, maplegrovemn.gov. Go there to find out that information plus much more that we're going to talk about. So the meeting on the 16th, again, about an hour, a little over an hour long. One item pulled from consent, a proclamation, something that happened last year and is back again. Tell us about this.
Yeah, so this was a proclamation for International Overdose Awareness Day, which is August 31st, coming up here at the end of the month. So proclamation acknowledging the impact that opioid addiction and overdoses have on our community. We will be doing some social media post education about this, and of course lighting up town green purple on that date of August 31st. So this continues to be a big issue in not only Maple Grove but the entire metro area and throughout the state, and so good opportunity to provide some education and awareness about this issue.
And again, more information on the city's Facebook and website. To special business, open forum, one person spoke on behalf of others from other neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Give us a little overview of that discussion.
Yeah, so we've been aware of this issue throughout the summer, but we do, there's a company that has acquired a few single family homes in Maple Grove for the purpose of rental, and so some concerns in the neighborhood around these homes, and so this neighborhood came forward to represent those concerns. We're working on some background information on the company and providing that out to the city council, so more information to come on that from the city council. But if residents have concerns about that, they can give a call to Joe Hogaboom and our Community and Economic Development Department. We can kind of talk through our rental licensing program, our crime-free multi-housing program, and how those programs work in these types of situations.
And again, not something isolated to Maple Grove. There are other cities that are seeing the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're amongst a number of suburbs here in the metro area where these types of things are occurring. So.
All right, next item on the agenda, a fun event. You had some royalty stop by, some ambassadors. Tell us about the three young ladies.
Yeah, so our new ambassadors, Gabby Bodine, Rachel Liu, and Taylor McGowan were with us. They've had a busy couple of months here, or I guess it was only a month since Maple Grove Days, but a busy month, several parades, different coronations and events that they've been attending on behalf of the city. And so they came and had a bit more time to introduce themselves to the council and talk about, their year ahead of them as Maple Grove ambassadors and about the ambassador program in general. So we're really happy for Gabby, Rachel, and Taylor, and we look forward to getting to know them better in the year ahead.
And fun to hear some of the comments from the council members and the mayor as well. They appreciate the work that these ambassadors do.
Yeah, they're at a lot of events throughout the year, and so it is a big time commitment, but it's also fun to see how they grow throughout the year and the experiences that they gained, and then of course year after year see the past ambassadors come back and see where their lives have led as well.
Yeah, great program in the city. Now to community development from the meeting on the 16th. One item here, Neil's Edition short plat, and it turned into a little bit of a long discussion.
Yeah.
Give us some background again and some of the overview of what happened.
Yeah, so this is a 1-to-2 lot split out on Weaver Lake Drive. So not on the lake side, but across the street.
Okay.
And a pretty long, standing existing neighborhood. But this was a larger lot out there that was eligible to be split into two, and the existing home on the lot was situated in a way that the split lot could be developed into another home. So the family had come forward requesting this lot split, and it really conforms to the code in terms of, required size of the lot exceeds that by quite a bit for both the remaining lot as well as the new lot. But concerns from the neighborhood brought forward really around tree loss. This is in a T-zone area, but there would be certain protections amongst for the trees there. But there is the opportunity for the homeowner to remove up to 50% of those trees to accommodate the construction. So there will be a tree inventory required, and then some approval about how they do that, and working with them to situate the home on the lot to reduce those impacts, reduce the tree loss that might occur there. There's some grade out there as well to that lot, and so how, the driveway, those kinds of concerns, how does grading on that lot get done? So working through those types of issues. And then just, rhythm and character of the neighborhood kind of a thing. What would that new structure look like? And at this time, this is really just dealing with the lot split. The homeowner or the property owners would then need to bring forward building plans as part of the building permit process, provide a complete grading plan to the city, the tree inventory that I mentioned, and then get that plan approved in terms of any removals that might occur, and then location of the driveway, that kind of thing. So there's quite a few steps involved here before that house or that additional house could be constructed on that new lot, but this was really kind of dealing with the lot split, and of course it did meet all the requirements of the code. So this one did get approval. The resolution of approval will come back on the next agenda, but a lot of input from the neighborhood here and discussion amongst the council. And
it sounded like that input from the neighborhood gave the council just some pause to think back on what their responsibility and abilities are in some of these cases. Right. And that's something that residents a lot of times don't see coming in, that what can a council do? Is that correct? There needs to be that understanding. Yeah, I mean, as long as a request like this meets the code in terms of the size of the lot and the setbacks, those kinds of things. Really, it's kind of procedural for the council in terms of reviewing these lot splits, and we do see these from time to time. In this case, there was some replatting that needed to occur. There's some old easements for a road that was never constructed and isn't needed into the future that'll get cleaned up, and so I guess kind of complicated, I would say, and maybe a little confusing, but in terms of the council's role here, it's really just kind of reviewing that lot split and making sure it's in conformance with the code. And this happens sometime not just residential, but also on retail commercial properties as well. Again, sometimes there's just some regulations, and if it fits zoning and fits what's right for that spot, it most likely can go in, right? Yeah, that is true. And we do experience that from time to time, where maybe we're not super excited about the use on a certain lot for something, but if it meets the zoning, there's property rights associated with those things. And so the council has to be mindful of those legal obligations as well. Good to understand. A couple reports then from community development on some upcoming items. Thursday, groundbreaking, Davis Medical. Tell us about this facility. Yeah, this project is up kind of at the northwest corner of
of 610 and Maple Grove Parkway up there next to the Bell Bank Austin Mutual building. So nice new medical office building. We'll break ground on that on Thursday afternoon.
And then an open house coming up at the range. And this is a lot of discussion has gone into this. Tell us about the open house and all the work that's been going in.
Yeah, so this is the North Metro Regional Public Safety Training Facility.
Right.
So kind of broadening the name
yes, exactly.
as we move through this expansion project. So we're happy to be partnering, of course, with Hennepin County on this project, as well as we receive state bonding dollars for the expansion of this public safety training facility. So this open house was really to kind of invite the neighbors that live close by in to take a look at the project, so they kind of understand, you know, what that's going to look like. There will be, you know, how the facility's situated on the lot, some tree removal that will need to occur, but really tried to be mindful of that and that viewscape from the street and whatnot. So yeah, open house up there on Thursday evening.
Very good. And then a look ahead at the Planning Commission meeting on the 30th. What are some of the items that are coming up?
Yes, we have a North American banking project, and that is over at the Village, as well as another lot split out at Appaloosa Woods. So we'll see what kind of interest that one garners.
More to come on that. Moving ahead to Public Works Engineering, update on our favorite road, I-94.
Yeah.
Where should we go or not go or be very careful of?
Yeah, it's getting a little more tricky out there right now. So if you're headed westbound on 94, that ramp to exit the highway on Weaver is closed. Now they're reconstructing that ramp. If you want to get back on 94 from Weaver, now that's open, so you can go the other way. But if you're driving up 94, they've moved the traffic over to those west lanes, so you feel like you're really far over to the middle. And then if you're exiting on Maple Grove Parkway, it's a little bit of a bob and weave to get off there in a little short, you know, ramp. So again, just, you know, take it slow through the corridor and know that, you know, things might have shifted around since the last time you were out there. And if you're going westbound, you're going to have to come up to the Parkway. Either get off on Hemlock beforehand if you're coming that way, or Bass Lake, one of the two. Or you're going to have to get off on the Parkway and circle back.
All right, makes sense. And the other topic was water. Let's talk a little bit about water, what we're hearing as far as restrictions, the state looking at things, and you trying to get the word out.
Yeah, so, you know, we continue to monitor water usage in the community. We did see a pretty marked reduction when we implemented the watering restrictions, so we're grateful and appreciative of people's efforts around that. We do still see folks watering during the midday and then not honoring, you know, the even odd thing. So we just ask for people's cooperation on that. If you know, this rain situation or lack of rain situation continues, and now you see Minneapolis and St. Paul having to deal with more further restrictions because of the levels of the river. So this is getting pretty serious. So we are monitoring what's happening at the state level, you know, kind of anticipating that they might have to go to a further, right now they're setting usage goals, but we might get to a point where there's restrictions, and so, you know, further hard restrictions, and therefore we might have to take further measures. To this point, we've been kind of doing education, awareness type of outreach when we see violations. Might be moving more towards some, you know, penalty for that, fines, that kind of a thing. We just really need folks to pay attention here. We need to bring that water usage down as we continue in this drought condition. And now, you know, with the fires up north, that kind of a thing, I think it just really, it's really starting to get kind of more serious. So ask for people's cooperation. If you have questions, please give a call up to Public Works. They're happy to help, and our utility staff is ready to respond. And
again, a little more signage going up as well. So there's going to be something that will remind people even visually out as they're driving around neighborhoods.
Yes, that's correct.
All right, be looking for that. Final note from the meeting on the 16th was your quick notes about some of the things coming up related to bonding in the community center. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we submitted last year a state bonding request in support of the community center project, expansion, renovation. Not really any local projects funded in last year's bonding bill, so submitted into the formal state process for the 2022 session for state bonding. Part of that process is state bonding tours. If you recall, we did that for 610, we did it for the North Metro Regional Training Facility, so planning on that for the community center project this fall. So we know the House will be out in late September. We're still pending a date for the Senate, but getting ready for those tours. And it's usually a brief, you know, half hour in, half hour out with various senators and representatives that come through town that are part of that capital investment committee. So we look forward to those opportunities and those dates coming up here.
No chance for a swim, but maybe a ride down the Maple Maze slide, right, or something like that. Maybe enough time for that. That's what happened at the meeting on the 16th. We'll give you the reminder about the next meeting in a minute. It is going to be a date change because of a holiday, but let's talk about some of the other things happening in the city. And the state fair is on everyone's mind, and you want to remind people about the bus service, a little change this year.
Yeah, so there won't be a weekend and Labor Day bus service from Maple Grove at the Arbor Lake station there. I think folks have gotten very used to that weekend service or that Labor Day service, and primarily it's due to the shortage of bus drivers. So Met Council had, and that's sort of, we do that in cooperation with Met Council. It's operated by Met Council.
Right.
They have reduced those types of park and ride locations from 13 down to 3. So very much, kind of reduced service on those park and rides due to the lack of labor to make that service work. There are some State Fair operated park and rides, so I encourage people to visit the State Fair website and take a look at that to see where those opportunities are. But I do think it's going to kind of increase the demand on parking at the State Fair and on those sites that remain. So take a look at the State Fair website if you're headed out, and make sure you check on that parking and know that that service won't be available from Maple Grove on the weekends.
Keep that in the back of your mind. Update from the police department about thefts from autos, something that we see happen during the summer, but there seems to be a little bit bigger uptick right now. Yeah,
this is, always happens in the summer months. People are coming and going, college kids are home, you're leaving vehicles out, running in the house. Seems like, the thing to do in the summertime. But we've had 46 theft from autos reported in the city since July 1. And then 29 of those have been exclusively in the residential area to the west of 94 and 494. So of the 29 theft from autos on the west side of town, over 80% of them occurred because vehicles had been left unlocked. And then vehicle tampering, where people have just rummaged through vehicles. So we really encourage people, if you're leaving a vehicle outside, make sure it's locked and take the valuables out. Don't leave a purse or a wallet or a cell phone or anything of value inside in that vehicle. Make sure your garage doors are shut every night. I know our officers will go around and as they're driving through neighborhoods, and if they see garage doors open, they'll stop and knock on the door and let you know your garage door is open. You might want to close it at whatever time of the day it is.
Very nice.
And then we encourage people to leave your outside house lights on. This is really a deterrent to anybody, especially if you have a car parked in the driveway. If you've got those outdoor lights on, lighting kind of deters that. So just, reminders, keep those garage service doors locked, keep those garage doors closed, take the keys out of the vehicles for sure. A lot of times they're sitting in the driveway unlocked with the keys in them. And so just make sure you're paying attention to those things, especially as we go into the late evening hours.
Good reminders from the police department. Now let's talk fire prevention a little bit and help for some seniors. How does this program work?
Yeah, so just a reminder that Maple Grove residents age 60 and over can have the fire prevention team come to their owner-occupied home, townhome, or condo and offer battery changes, alarm replacement services, and then just provide fire safety information. So you can call the fire department at 494-6300 to schedule an appointment. They're offered on Tuesday mornings and Thursday afternoons.
Very good. All right. We said we're getting ready a little bit for fall, and here's one sure sign of that. The brochure is ready to come out from Park and Rec. What's inside? Yeah, so the promotional brochure will be distributed by mail the week of August 16th, so this very week. And then, of course, that is also available in digital format on our city website. So registration begins August 24th for senior programs, the 25th for general programs, and then the 26th for swimming lessons. And there's over 350 fall programs offered up in this brochure. All right, something for everyone. Speaking of swimming, how are we doing as far as places to swim? That's dwindling as well. Yeah, so Weaver Lake, we lose a lot of our lifeguards in mid-August with kids going back to college, so Weaver Lake is closed for the season. But we do have the outdoor pool at the community center that's open through Labor Day. And then the splash pad, of course, continues to be open from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. over at Central Park. All right, still a chance to get out there and cool off. How about the farmers market? What's hot there at the market, and when are they occurring again? Yeah, I've heard that the produce is picking up a bit. They've struggled also with the drought for sure, so that's been a little bit challenging this year. But every Thursday we continue with our farmers market at the community center from 3 to 7 p.m. and then we'll brief up those hours as we go into October from 3 to 6. Final couple notes. How about some entertainment and music? Here's a few things to put on the calendar. Always something at the Town Green. What's coming up here quickly?
Yeah, so Town Green Music continues through the week of August 30th. Again, music performances Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Our family entertainment Thursdays at 10:30 a.m. And then we continue our movies Friday starting at dusk, and that goes through September 24th.
All right, and way out to the middle of September, which doesn't seem that far now, does it?
No.
Concert on the Lawn is coming up.
Yeah.
What is occurring? Who's behind this great event?
Yeah, so the Maple Grove Lions are putting on a concert on the lawn this fall. The dates are Friday, September 17th and Saturday, September 18th. Outdoor event, so very COVID-friendly event, hopefully.
Yeah.
Tickets are on sale with options for Friday only, Saturday only, or you can get a deal on both nights. Friday night is a country night. Saturday night, the headliner is Soul Asylum, a little bit more of a rock type of event. So Maple Grove Lions website to get your tickets.
Yeah, lots of fun there, and you can connect to that website through the city's website as well. Let's give that to you now and look at that next meeting date, which I mentioned was a different date because of the holiday, so it'll be on Tuesday the 7th at 7:30 at the Government Center. 494-6000, the number to call, and you see the website in the middle of the screen. A lot of information there about what's coming up and what's going on right now in Maple Grove. For Heidi Nelson, I'm Dave Kaiser. Thanks for joining us on the Maple Grove City Report.